Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel. And to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, myself, Dorothy, Rebecca, and Sonia. And it's still Scraptember with the Scrappy Sisters and Laura, and 30 Days of Sketches with Christy. And today's prompt to go with the sketch is rainbow. And this is the sketch we'll be using today. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was inspiration in my layout. It is not exactly the same, and it's by Paper Issues. And the photo that I'm going to be using today is of my great nephew Parker. See, his hair is kind of on the wild side and reminded me of the paper that I'm going to be using today. I'm taking a 1 3/4 inch punch and I'm cutting a circle. And there is my vellum template, and I did draw on it just kind of randomly. I cut it the same size as the face. This is a face, and it is going to be a tiger, a baby tiger. His head's going to be bigger than his body. Well, maybe not bigger, but not proportioned to his body. And I did the line down the forehead first with Rusty Hinge ink, and then I cut into the little template there, the little stripes that's going to be on him. And I'm going to use the black soot ink, and I'm going right over the top of this little place down the front of his head. And I did the right hand side, and I thought, okay, I'll wipe it off with a baby wipe. I should have used a Kleenex or something. It made it curl all up. But it made it work anyway by wiping outwards. So now he's got his stripes on his cheeks and his top of his head. And the picture of Parker has his hair straight up in the air. So I will be making the little tiger guy's hair straight up in the air too. I'm working on the ears now for him, and I looked at clip art this time because I wanted to see baby tigers. And some of them, not all of them, had like kind of squared off ears. So I decided to go for that. And I'm pointing out the fox builder punch. It's the tip end of his tail. And I'm going to use it on the inside of his ears. You know, Parker's hair is kind of sticking straight up. So I thought I'd give him a little tuft on the inside of each ear. And I'm going to square off the top of my ears. I cut straight across first, and then I rounded off those straight lines. And I have to use the little reverse tweezers on this because it is so tiny. I end up with more ink on my fingers than I do on the part that I'm trying to ink. I'm also inking around his head, and I will be doing it on his whole body too. But I'm going to layer the parts for the ear, and I did the inside of the ear. Well, the outside is 1/2 inch, and the inside there is 3/8. Then I'm going to put that little tail from the fox builder punch kind of upside down compared to how you would do it on the fox's tail, just so the little ends stick straight up. And I'm going to have them go outward. Well, you'll see when I get it on there. One's going to go one direction, the one's going to go the other, just so they'll look like they mirror each other. That's it. I want them mirrored. And this is from my grass punch, Fisker's grass punch. And I just cut enough to go across there and stick straight up. And there I'm showing the grass punch so you can see what it looks like. When I did the sample, I only did the head. But I did try orange first to go with his head. And I think it was because of the little stripes right there. It didn't look that good. So I inked the orange with the black soot. And I like that better. So I went ahead and done it in black to start with this time. I'm working on the eyes next. The outer one, which is black, is 5/8 inch. And then the white is 1/2. Then the green is 3/8. And the little dot, the black one, is 1/4 inch. And I kind of tucked them all downward so one side would be thicker than the other to give the eyes just a little more depth. That's what I think it's doing when I do it anyway. And I'm having him look up and to his right. And I use that heart punch, and I don't remember if I end up showing it or not, but it will be laying on the table when I zoom out. And I'm cutting the whiskers now, and you measure it, see how long you want it to start with, which I did, and cut a little bit off. And then I'm just hand cutting the whiskers, and I'm going to do 3. And since it's folded over, one side will reflect the other side, except for a couple of little bits that was kind of on the edge. And so I'm just trimming them up to match. And I'm going to put it down, and then I'll put my little heart down for the nose. And you will see me decide that I need to go ahead and highlight it before I put that foam tape on there, because unless I forget to do it, that's how I'd rather do it. Once you get the foam tape on there, it is really hard to highlight, and it looked like you want it to look also. And in my sample, I had the nose turned the other way, upside down, but I decided to go ahead and put it this way for the real one, the one that's going on my layout. And I'm using my Martha Stewart Holly Berry punch for the mouth, and all I did was cut the little stem between the two so that it looked like a cat or tiger, in this case mouth. And see those little dots laying over to the left? The middle size one is the one that I am going to use, but it's only going to be in the photos. And it's like the tongue or part of the mouth that's open just a little bit. You know, it's right there in the mouth. It's where it goes, and I forgot to put it there. I'm working on the body now, and I'm inking both of them. One's for the arm, and the other one is for the body itself. And I use the large oval punch, and then for the belly part, I use the small oval punch. And I'm zooming back out so that I could put him on the layout and figure out how to do the rest of it. And I'm pointing up there at my uh, sketch and showing that it's only halfway there. And it has a circle for the center, which I'm figuring is a photo. But I did not want to cut this photo down anymore. I did a tiny bit, but I wanted all of Parker's hair to show. His hair is just like his mama's was when she was a baby. It stuck straight up. And him being a boy, they were able to cut his a little later, not right away. They let it go ahead and grow like this. I think they waited till he was a year old before they actually cut it, but it was more manageable after it got cut. Stacy, however, hers stuck out, and my sister was trying to let it grow out, and it took a while where it laid down. And it was just adorable on those kids. And that's why the hair is on my little tiger too. And he looks kind of sad now, but what I was thinking when I put his mouth on it, I thought it would be like, kind of look, because Parker's mouth's wide open, and I thought, oh my goodness, he's posing for a title on my layout. So I had to do something for my layout where it looks like he is got his mouth open saying something, and well, in this case, yelling. But yeah, I wanted to do something that went with the look on Parker's face. And while I was rambling, I was pulling out my 2 vellum jars. And this piece of vellum, I'm not sure where I got it. It was a scrap in my uh, Ziploc bag, and it's thinner. And that's why it kind of curled up when I got it wet. And so I thought, well, I'm going to do 2 of them and ink one like it's the food contents on the inside of the baby food jar. And that's why I cut it down too. I wanted it short and fat like a baby food jar. Of course, some of them are a little taller, but I was going for the short and fat one. And I'm putting the belly behind it so, you can see the belly through the vellum. And the one that's behind there, I did the inking in green. You can't tell it super well, I mean, you gotta be looking right at it. In there under the lights, it looked really good with the green. But in here without the lights, it's not quite as green. And I'm putting the little tiger's face right down in the jar. And there's a spoon too, and the spoon is from Close to My Heart. And I had those dies laying right there to show them, the one for the jar and for the one for the spoon, and forgot all about it. I was busy trying to decide what to do next because, like I said, all I did was the head when I did the practice run. And so the body is the practice run on this. And I did both arms, and I want him to come in around the jar like he's kind of hugging it and keeping it safe. And then I am going to use those two flowers up there on the left for his hands. I'm going to cut off two petals and just put them on the end of his arms there. And there I trimmed that one arm just so it wouldn't be sticking over quite so far. I am layering the flowers while I cut them just so they'll match, and then of course inking them in the rusty hinge and putting them on the ends of his arms. And I'm just going to kind of show knuckles is what I'm thinking there, like he's got his hands closed. I do have feet there. They're kind of hid behind the sketch, but I did one in advance, so it's ready to go because it does take a minute or two to do these. And I used the little heart that's in the Martha Stewart heart confetti punch. I used the biggest one, and I'm pointing the point up so it's upside down. And then I'm going to put 3 of the 1/8 inch punches on there to make the look of a paw on the bottom of his feet. And I am going to put his feet right at the bottom of the page. I mean, so much so I had to move them up a little bit. And the reason I use the tiger is because his little bib has some tigers on there. And a lot of baby food on there. They must have wiped his face before they took the photo. And I'm going to turn his feet outward so his toes will be sticking outward. Well, what looks kind of like toes will be sticking outward. And in that the die set that I had, well, I don't think the jar actually came with that die set, but in the die set there were some labels to go on the soda bottles. And so I just used one of them on the bear so I would have something to glue the vellum on with. Otherwise, the glue would show, especially as thin as that is. I'm going to use the Heidi Swap handwriting for my title, and it's going to say, hey, that's mine. Because, it looks like he's saying something in the photo. And I love that font. It's just so cute. It's kind of wonky. So, of course, I love it. I just now thought I should have put the spoon in the tiger's hand. Yeah. I think it'd look cute, wouldn't you? I think I'm going to go do that. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back and I was gone a little longer than I planned on being gone. But I did get the spoon into the tiger's hand. But while I'm thinking of it, and before I say anything else, I want to mention that all the links will be down there below of everyone else that's doing the Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches, including the Scrappy Sisters and Laura Alberts and Christy of Christy's Beautiful Life. And since this is Punched Out Thursday, there will be all the Punched Out Thursday gals that we use our punches and or dies one day a week for a layout. And then there's a whole bunch of other links down there. So much inspiration on how to use a sketch or a prompt. And let's see where I'm at on my layout. Oh, I'm putting the phrase stickers, and they say I could eat this every day. Yes, more of this. Get in my belly. Love this, delicious. And you will see on the final photos that there is 2 phrase stickers on top of the carrots, and they say high chair moment. And let's see, I'm putting only three enamel dots. I thought it needed another texture on here. And since I didn't have, three clusters, I decided just put three enamel dots like it was on one. But I did notice I hadn't highlighted my tiger yet, so I did that. And another thing I had failed to do was put stripes on his arms. So I'm putting that packaging down there in the hopes of not getting any on my background paper. Well, I didn't hold on to it, so it moves. I get it on the background paper, but I will be covering it up. When I do the other side, you'll see me holding on to it much better, and it's not going to move, and I'm not going to get any of the black soot anywhere but on his arm where it's supposed to be. And that's it for my layout, except for when I go back in there and put the spoon in his hand, which you will see that. Oh, there's the heart. I covered the heart. I put the heart over the black spot so you wouldn't see it. But it's not going to stay there. It's going to end up over by the carrots. Oh, I forgot this part. Since I use black for the title and it's pretty big on the right-hand side, and if you look up at the sketch, it does show the title on each side, I decided to go ahead and add XOXO. And here's my finished layout with the tiger holding the spoon. And if y'all noticed, he has a tail now. I cannot believe I forgot his tail. I happened to notice that before I got done. So it got added to the little guy so he would have a tail. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't notice it. You all were probably sitting there thinking, that tiger does not have no tail. But he does now. And if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. And everybody that spent time watching my video when there is so much out there to watch, I appreciate that too. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And I love putting words on there so I don't have to journal. Can you tell? It says journaling up there, but I put all those words on there instead. I knew there was enough to cover what I wanted. And don't he look cute with that hair sticking straight up? He's just adorable. It don't stick straight up anymore, but he's still adorable. But I hope y'all have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.